So we return to another Christ in Majesty, in this case, a Spanish version, which is really a cross between Romanesque and Byzantine ideas and designs. Now, we see a lot of things in this version, in this Pancrator, which are very common to us. What we see is a formality, symmetry, and placement of the figures, which is Byzantine. And if this were done in mosaic, it would stand out as being Byzantine. However, this is done in fresco and has a couple of changes. So we still have Jesus in the mandorla. We have the halo, the sign of benediction, the scriptures, the throne of heaven. All elements that we've seen from the Byzantine. But move outside that mandorla for a second, and you see the four evangelists, or symbols thereof, the human, the lion, the ox, and the eagle. Now, this is very different. This is something that is purely Romanesque, and the fact that it's a mural makes it Romanesque. So the Spanish are really mixing these two ideas, and even as we move down, we have images of saints, a Byzantine idea depicted in fresco, sort of mixing these two ideas. And it's not uncommon to see this intermixing during the Romanesque because Europe is trading with the Byzantine Empire. They're very aware of one another. Also, when you look at the image itself, the linear nature of Jesus, you see that form that screams Byzantine. From here, we move to the Morgan Madonna. And here we see a Madonna on the throne of wisdom. And it's not an uncommon idea. This is carved in wood, and in the West, it would have been considered dangerously close to idolatry because we've now moved from a two-dimensional picture to a three-dimensional sculpture. And it is feared at that point that it is so realistic that people might pray to it. Not that they're going to mistake it for Mary, but that they're going to mistake it as a miracle-giving form. To address this concern, they put a relic inside of it, a bone chip. And the idea there is that if you do err in your ways and pray to the statue, you will actually be praying to a saint. And that's slightly better than committing an act of idolatry. The image is frontal, it's static, there's no sense of movement, it's very linear. The Christ child looks like a fully grown adult that just happens to be 3 feet tall. It's a homunculus once again. Although he also takes on this form of the Theotokos, she takes on the form of the Theotokos, that sort of Byzantine form with the very linear clothing and no feminine attributes whatsoever. Although in this case, this takes on a more intimate scale. It's something that's about 12 to 14 inches tall and therefore becomes much more personable. It's much more relatable for us.